What's up guys, this is Scher talking, welcome back to my channel. On today's video, I want to show you how I am using Urpina and Minstrel together to defeat Spiral Corridor 300. Well, this is a Urpina showcase because some people ask it for. She's a pretty interesting character, not really a must-have, but if you know how to use her with the right squad, she's going to perform pretty well, especially because of battling knowledge. This is something that she has 5 triggers, but she applies 2 triggers for everyone in the party. And if you use single target attacks, you're gonna get 1 BP per attack and then attack boost. It doesn't really matter too much, although 2 BP is really nice if your character has at least 1 chains attack. But it's all about using random attacks with Urpina. You're gonna trigger an attack boost of very large effect and a defense boost that will decrease damage taken by 10% for the whole squad. So the more characters with random attacks you have in the party, the better your defenses will be. So having at least 3 will be very, very important. Now, in order to showcase this, I brought blunt damage dealers because this boss is weak to blunt, but it can also be other types of characters. For example, Creator can also do some lightning damage in this fight. He will work, although he is mostly sun and cold and this enemy does not resist, but it's not weak to. And many other random attackers will also work. But here I will be talking about the characters that I'm using and why they are in the party. For example, I have Tatiana. Tatiana is a random attacker via triple stamp, so she's perfect for Urpina squad. And they are also using clubs. They can be used together on Remembrance, so you get to know the idea. And you will get more damage by just doing triple stamp, but if you use Extraordinary Spoon Bang from her newest style, you can also buff status and cast their effects. That actually helps, because she will get enough BP to keep using whatever she wants, just because of Urpina. Then we have here UniverSe. He has Racing Adventure that attacks 3 times with random and also applies defense boost, and we are going to apply even more. But he only has 1 random attack, not twice. And then Gustave is similar. Well, Gustave will cast Iron Brave to give you lots of effects, and then Guns Strike is single target. He only gives effects for himself, but then he can chase with Rampage Slash and then Guns Strike. So if you go for Guns Strike and then the game chooses Random Strike as your first chase, you only trigger effects for Gustave. But you can also inherit Triple Crush, for example, that is a random attack, although the enemy resists Slash, but you're going to trigger the additional effect. And then if the game chases with Rampage Slash first, you're going to trigger the random effect there. If you are desperate for just more defense boosts, use Triple Crush. If you don't have EP, use Rampage Slash as your command to apply more. But if you want damage and you can't afford, go for Guns Strike. You're going to do much more damage. Now, the last character I brought because, well, they combo super well together in my opinion, because Minstrel is a blunt leader. He's going to improve blunt damage by 150% by turn 5 onwards, and he gives this effect called Minstrel Song that when you use blunt attacks, you will debuff the enemy status by up to 20%. And then apply defense down, so you're going to improve damage for your party, you're going to debuff the enemy, and Minstrel can heal, he can give attack, defense boost, and BP. So those are 2 very recent characters that work extremely well together, and they are going to destroy this challenge. And, well, I'm going to show you the strategy right now. And you just have to defend versus physical types with your equipment, but also heat, cold, lightning, sun. Elements are not that important in this fight, although you should at least use accessories that increase resistance. Let's go. Okay, this fight will be a little hard, but it's still doable. As you can see, I'm not bringing a debuffer. Urpina will start with her Lady Home Run, then UniverSe will be using Racing Adventure. Gustave is the only one that has to use a skill that brings passives, and Tatiana can already start with Triple Stamp. She's gonna get a lot of BP just because of that. And now I will be using Shining Sound. This one will apply Morale Down and Guard Down as well. So Real Queen will work similarly to how Minstrel does. Not as great because Minstrel is also a blunt specialist. So combos well with Urpina in a different way by comboing with the other characters in the party, but also improving her own damage, although he uses AoE attacks. So he does not benefit from the triggers of Urpina at all. But he's just so good in this party composition that it makes an impact. You don't need to have a full squad of random attackers. I would say that 3 will be good enough in most situations. You can see that our damage will be very low. And Here we are also debuffing the enemy when we attack. In some turns, MacLeod will use a skill that removes debuffs applied before he starts attacking. So that will allow us to receive damage, especially when he uses his big laser. We'll get to that point yet. Now, I'll be using skills that I have available. For example, sometimes I won't have enough VP. Now I can start using Extraordinary Spoon. Minstrel does not have VP. Let's go. You can save for turn 4 overdrive, since MacLeod will counter you on turn 4. Also, using blunt attacks decreases the defense of the enemy because of Minstrel. And we have lots of blunt attacks here. MacLeod has insane amounts of HP as well. Stav is already doing more than 1.2 million with his big hits and 600,000 with his weaker hits. It's kind of cheating, I guess, because we're not taking damage. Not really because of Urpina. But I have 2 teams to showcase Urpina. So, see in the next one. See, 0 damage. It's really broken. For now, at least. Urpina also counters. Her counter would trigger her passives as well. Just look at that. So I'll be saving my overdrive. AJ home run. Now I can use best skills if I have them available. And I get back to Shining Sound with Minstrel. Minstrel is improving blunt damage. All characters here have blunt damage. In this case, Gustave triggered the passives twice. He used random attacks on the first and second attack. We are getting close to 1 million per hit. Even Umameo hits are close to 1 million now. Once more, taking 0 damage. Ridiculous, right? Really, really ridiculous. We broke the fight, but we would take damage on turn 4. And it's a turn where we'll be using overdrive. Besides Tatiana, I still prefer to not use overdrive with her. So just pay attention. And everyone else. Oops, I used Shining Sound again. That's my bad. I should have been using Eclat Darby on the Inheritance. This is a turn where Urpina also chases 2 times. Actually 3 times, because it's her last turn. Minstrel damage is really bad, you can see. But it doesn't really matter, he's just helping the party so much. He's even helping with healing. Now, counter-attack will happen. Tatiana will do much less damage. He really doesn't mind. Now look at Gustav taking 100 per laser. You know that this laser can do like 2 million per hit. I mean, 2,000 per hit. Oh, attack at Urpina, and Urpina broke. And that's the turn where he could remove debuffs and do damage. What about the other turns? He's back to being 0 damage. Ah, use the shiny salt again. No! My bad. So many defensive layers. Oh, a 4-character combo. There is just a little problem. On turn 7, MacLeod will remove our BP. Would be better to finish it by that turn. Not so sure if we can. It may actually be possible. Back to 0 damage. Okay. Oh, well. Finally, I'm gonna switch the skill. I'll try to finish by turn 7 on overdrive. Either on this turn he removed debuffs. If we were using Real Queen, all of her debuffs would have been removed. He also loses part of our buffs. That's why our damage scales back. And then it improves again. Especially when we are buffing with Tatiana and Urpina. Some great damage. Yeah, it will be possible to finish by turn 7. Although on turn 7 we won't have enough BP. See that he actually applied a skill on turn 6 so that on turn 7 we won't have enough BP. With this party specifically, it's not really a problem. With other parties, yeah, it could have been terrible. Especially if you're relying on applying defense boost and you don't have enough BP for that. And he also applies something that happens on the end of turn, so even if you trigger Gustav passive, it just doesn't help. Let's use what we have here. Well, let's save for Tatiana, of course, I'm not gonna lose her. Well, not having enough VP also means our damage decreases by quite a lot. That is just part of the gimmick of this fight anyway. In this scenario, we took some damage here, 300. Oh, but this is also the time where we were taking like 2,000 using different squads. At least Tatiana still does enough damage. Yeah, take that. One of the ways to win this fight was also to cast evasion or damage block on this turn. At least we have enough VP to use our best skills, and they will be used right now. With Tatiana even using Hero Overdrive just to buff everyone, and then finishing the fight, our best stuff. If Tatiana keeps just using triple stamp, triggers more of a defense in attack boosts, but I like to have some status buff and other stuff. Will this be enough? Well, hopefully. It's turn 8. Urpina attacks more. Let's go. Let's go. You're gonna finish this for me. Yes. Nice. So that's the showcase, guys. I feel like this is a very good squad that will work here and there, but especially if you have these units, you're gonna have some fun on stage 300 versus MacLeod. Thanks so much for watching. Please subscribe if you haven't, and I hope to see you soon in the next video. Goodbye.